Hello, my name is Shapa, but you can call me Cake, and welcome to the next session of me trying to get competent at Dwarf Fortress. So, I have forgotten last session to mention something that is fairly interesting and might be half of the answer for why we were missing so much food from the farms in this fort as opposed to the last fort, because there is something that I have done in Mind Floors that I have not done in Amberrag, which is manage the set orders. And what set orders are is just basically standing orders for the dwarves to do. And in this case, what I have not done this time is that I have not forbidden other dwarves than farmers to harvest food. So right now, what I have done in between sessions is press H here for only farmers harvesting. What the problem is that if a dwarf that isn't a trained farmer harvests something, it's possible that they lose seeds or get less seeds. So now, if only farmers harvest, which, I mean, we only have one trained farmer, and I have a few novices assigned, but that's just something that I'll just have to live with. But going forward, as they get trained, we should lose less and less seeds, and we shouldn't have the problem with running out anymore. The other thing that I have also done is, I believe I have shown that there was an issue with the work orders for the kitchens. The limit on the plump helmet spawns was just not working, it was always satisfied. And it is a weird quirk of the manager that you have to have very specific settings on the conditions. So before that I had plump helmet seed items, something like that, because I did not change the material to plump helmet spawn. I just had a trait that was plump helmet seed or something like that. Basically, it seemed like it should have worked. The words were there, but they didn't mean what they meant to do. The type that is seed and the material is plump helmet combined to the proper conditions of plump helmet spawn. And that is now satisfied, so I made the conditions that we have to have plump helmet spawns and we have to have plump helmets for this kitchen to actually do anything. While that condition does not exist for the no plant kitchen because it will not be using any plump helmets at all. So this one can cook from whatever it wants to do. So I believe that should also completely get rid of the other half of the issue where the plump helmets were getting cooked and the seeds were getting destroyed during cooking. Yes, one kitchen will keep just churning out whatever it wants, from eggs, fish, meat, some drinks, yeah, whatever other it wants to. This one will just keep limits on what it does and it will stop working if we reach a certain level. And they still obviously can just keep churning out as much as it wants because it creates seeds, so we shouldn't care. The next issue that we had was that some dwarfs were tantruming. I believe it was if I go to reset announcement, oh yeah, there we go. So we can see that the weaponsmith just keeps cancelling orders because he keeps throwing tantrum. And unfortunately, they're not here, but when I was playing in the between sessions, there were some dwarfs in the hospital with some minor injuries because the weaponsmith just kept going off on a tantrum and injuring them. Wait, why are those highlighted like this? Recite poetry. Oh, they're performing. That's why they're weird like that. I have never seen them like with those icons because I have never seen any bards recite poetry. But you also can see how many bards we have here. It is ridiculous. Human bard, poets, goblin poets, human poets, elven poets, dwarven bards. It is absolutely silly. I believe if we go to the unit list and we go to others, yeah, just poet, bard, poet. Yeah, and that's not even all of them because they were giving petitions and I have rejected some of them. So I believe that some of them have already left. I think we had like 15 of them. And if you go to the dead and missing, you can see how many of them were killed by the undead as well. I mean, it was I don't know why they kept coming to our fortress. It is ridiculous how many of them there are. And now, something that has happened in the session that greatly annoyed me, that is going to be basically the whole focus of this session, is that our legendary miner has gotten a strange mood. And this is a dwarf I am not willing to lose. We will not lose this dwarf, because we only have one other miner and they're doubling, so if any mining needs to be done, it will be absolutely painful. I was desperate to figure out how to save this dwarf. And I regret to tell you that the solution is so blindingly simple that I'm not sure how I just didn't check it before. Because all we needed to do is press on the workshop that the dwarf in the mood is in, and they tell you what they need. They have the logs, they have the stone, the rock. What they need is plant cloth. That is a problem. We do not have plant cloth. We have some cloth in the hospital, but that is woolen cloth and it's silk cloth. It is not plant cloth. So what I, purely out of desperation, started quickly doing is build a loom here. It still needs construction. Actually, oh yeah, because it needs weaving. Let's quickly go to Dwarf Therapist, see if anybody actually has weaving, because I might have turned that off. That might be why nobody is actually building it. Yeah, nobody has weaving, that's why nobody is building this damn thing. Okay, who is not doing anything, and who has the best weaver role? Highlight these dwarfs, and see what they're doing, which one potentially can do it. So there's a lime maker and his fishing. So, okay, because we are desperate, and I believe we have other fishers, so they will only focus on spinning and weaving so that we can have the loom and the thread and the cloth made. I will turn them back on after the crisis has ended, but for now we need them. And this is a mason, so I'll leave them, and this is a hunter, so I'll leave them. Okay. So we have our spinners and weavers. And I have process plants on repeat, so they should start processing the pigtails into thread. And then we should be able to start weaving that thread into cloth, and hopefully our miner won't go crazy. In the meantime, what we can do, because what I started doing basically is doing this bit where I started putting the grates in, and I got an idea that why wall this off like this when we can just put a few more grates in and just put a wall across, and just then we can even get to the other side if we want to. Not necessarily need to, but just can. And it takes less wall, and it's even more secure because it's secure from both sides, so no one can fly in. It's just then, of course, I will also need to put a roof over it, so I'll need to tunnel out here and just put a floor over it, then wall it off. So just mine this out, there's going to be access, then just put a floor over it and we'll be golden. And let's see if we can put the grates in. So they're already put in, but I can't put in another one next to it, surrounded by empty space. I thought I could make a whole floor out of grates. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, because I can, like, all we need is a fishing spot, so I can just put a normal floor here, instead of grates, and they can still fish and get water from here. I just wanted to have a whole floor of grates. Yeah, we can put a normal floor, but we can't put grates in. And we want to use blocks. So they will do that. I can build the walls as well. Yeah, okay, they can't do that because they need the floor. So that's fine, we'll do that later. Okay, so that will be taken care of. Let's see how the... because I started fixing the bridges, but then got all the issues. Yeah, they haven't started these. We still have the two original drawbridges. We have the one here. I don't believe I connected it yet. One other thing that I just started to... although that can wait until we have some magma, because I wanted to make like a quantum stockpile powered incinerator for all the rubbish. But we first need magma for that, so okay, that can wait. But speaking of magma, what I'll also do is, as a second priority, so the thing to build the floor will be the first priority. The second priority will be to start digging here, because I want to go and look for magma. So I'll just dig a short tunnel here, and then what I'll do is place a drawbridge here, so that it can cover the stairs as we wish. So yeah, I'll place the drawbridge here, put a lever to be able to block this off, so that when we go digging, I won't have the issue where I suddenly need to scramble to block it off somehow. I'll just put the drawbridge over and that's it. And after it's dug, we'll just start digging down, and hopefully we'll hit some magma, because I can see we're hitting in the middle of the caverns. I guess let's see how our efforts to do some weaving will work. So what are our weavers doing now? They are holing, they are doing nothing, and they are drinking. But nobody's taking any pigtails here. Okay, let's quickly check, because I checked before, I'm pretty sure, in stocks, that we have pigtails. Pigtail thread 2. So did we only have 2 pigtails and they already processed? What are these pigtails? Okay. But will they be harvested in time? I'll make a stockpile. This will take from anywhere, but it will give to the workshop. Okay, so let's forbid everything but plant cloth. So the loom can only take from this, and this only takes plant thread. I believe I had to remove the hospital. Yeah, I had to remove the hospital zone because it hogs the thread. But what I'll probably do is because yeah, there's just basically bugs with dwarfs not taking thread or cloth from hospitals. But what I can do is, I believe, remove this and remove this building and remove this building, and yeah, put a small cloth stockpile here for the moment, so that they have something. And they can put some cloth and stuff in here and the splints, but it will not be plant cloth instead of the containers. Water buffalo is starving. Oh yeah, okay. I forgot about the animals, but that is a quick fix, because we have some space here that I can designate as the animal grazing. It's temporary because we'll dig out the big zone later. Pen pasture, there we go. And let's put the yak there. Oh no, what was it? Okay, not the corpses, buffalo bull. So they can graze on the cave moss. Not collect webs, I want weave cloth plant thread. There we go. There we go, on repeat. Oh, so we have a caravan. Brilliant. We'll see. I hope they can make their way into our entrance, because I think last time there was a problem with that, but we'll see now. So we have some gems for trading, but we'll see once they make it, or if they make it to the trading area, to the trade depot. There we go. Yes, they made it into the hall. Let's request trader. And do we have a broker? We don't. Should we assign a broker quickly? Because they don't need any offices or anything like that. Okay, so expert negotiator. Let me just quickly check in Dwarf Therapist if he does anything else. Cabal is a very good mechanic and a bone carver. Loading cage traps. Okay, so they can be a broker as well, because it is just occasional. They won't need to do it all the time. But they are an expert broker, which is brilliant. Put them in the position. Depot. Only broker may trade. What are those? Let's see. Description. Mokuri. What is a Mokuri? Oh, so it's instruments. Okay. We can sell all of those. And we can sell all of the gems. Large cut gems, and it's instruments instead. But okay, why not? Oh, what? Oh, what happened? Something has collapsed here. Unconscious, but seemingly unharmed. Oh, can the floor not be built here? Is that why? Yeah, the floor here is collapsing, okay, because it's not supported by anything. Let's cancel that quickly. But oh no! Is that a hunter swimming? Did we lose anybody else? So a hunter tried to walk over that floor and collapsed underneath him. What can we do about that quickly? Mine from here to there, and dig out from here to here. And maybe someone can get over to them, because they'll be stuck here, but maybe they can get out then. And I guess channel this out maybe, so they have a slope. And then I can just wall it off later. Yeah, they're trying to swim against the current, but maybe once they're able to get out of here. But yeah, if we had our legendary miner right now, they would fly through this. And everything would be fine. And the other miner just buggered off somewhere. Went off to drink, obviously. Okay, let's trade. Let's search pigtail cloth, there we go. Yes, that's what we want. Okay, we might as well get all the cloth we can anyway. Let's buy the cheap thread. Rope as well, because I will make a well in the hospital. Actually, I want some bags, but not bags with stuff in them. They have some plump helmets, maybe they have some spawns as well. Yeah, they have some spawns, okay. But we don't need the actual plump helmets because we can just grow our own. And now that I have hopefully sorted out the issues. Oh, there we go, yeah. Miner immediately went and got the cloth, got the logs. Yes, they have begun their construction. Okay, we have saved the miners. This caravan was a blessing. Okay, so now that we dealt with this, we can actually go and see what's happening here. The other miner still hasn't started digging this out. Let's see what they're doing. They are drinking. Okay, maybe the legendary miner will do their thing and then go and wreck that thing out, because they are hyper fast. Yeah, they're still not doing it. Oh, there we go, okay. And yeah, this dwarf is still fighting for their life. I think they're not tired yet, so hopefully maybe they will be rescued just in time. Ah, there we go. A granite hutch cover. Let's view what it is. Artifacts. What are all these? An earthbound codex. Oh, I think those are on the caravan. Those aren't ours. View the description. A granite hatch cover, all of course highest quality. Decorated with apricot wood. Yay, menaces with spikes of gabbro. It's an image of... I'm sorry, what? So, the hatch cover has an image of itself. And on the item is an image of a cubic cube in thread on the... Okay, yeah, I mean, that sure is a description. Why not? Okay, yeah, let's see how the mining here is going, because did the miner get there yet? Yeah, they're being really slow. Okay, let's maybe distract them by cancelling this. Distract them from doing this. And maybe if they exchange priorities, let's see. Maybe the good miner will come and start digging this. Yeah, I think the hyper miner is going to come now and just go straight through it. While the other miner is going upstairs. Or somewhere else even. Okay, let's see a professional at work now. See, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, will they figure out to come here? Oh, I think they are. Yeah, there we go. See? They're probably tired. Let's see their condition. Oh, I guess they're fine. Where are they going back? Oh, to get the bodies. Okay. Oh, so they can actually just access here. So they can get the stuff. I think there's another copper pick there as well. Yeah, because there's quite a few things here. Some clothes, some granite blocks that fell from the floor. Okay, yeah, so they can access that and get the stuff. I thought you could just attach stuff to the floor grates, that they just acted like a normal floor. Okay, I'll remove this building, this floor grate, and put a normal floor there. And then put a floor all the way around here. So they can finish this, they can build a floor here. I'll just put some more grates here, so it's double-sided. Oh, and yeah, so now they buried the dwarf, and a ghostly fisher dwarf has been put to rest, because I think there has been a ghost hanging around here, I believe. Let's see. Oh, and they're digging out here as well, because I designated that for a bit more room for workshops. What I will do now is set up some orders for our workshops. So the wood furnace, make a work order for make charcoal. Okay, so 12, 6 for each workshop, so 1 for the forge and 1 for the smelter. If the amount of charcoal is less than 6, so that we always have 12 charcoal. Or maybe, no, even less. Okay, when the amount is 2. So we won't be wasting wood. And then I want to make order at the smelter, smelt magnetite ore, 5 if the amount of iron bars is at most 1. There we go. So they will just keep topping it up. But also, if the amount of magnetite is at least 1, and the amount of refined coal is at least 1. So basically I don't want to just have them keep spamming cancel orders because they don't have coal or they don't have ore, because that would be very annoying. Let's check who has a wood burner. Okay, so I designated a few dwarves as wood burners, which is fine. I can redesignate this because we're not desperate for anything right now. Oh, there's a beekeeper as well. Oh, and the wood. Oh, it can be either... Oh, because there either can be a hunter or a woodcutter. Okay, we have more woodcutters, so I'd rather have a hunter. So we'll have metal bolts for the military. But what we also need is bolts for the hunters. So what I want to do, because this is getting a bit crowded, especially with some damaged clothes. I guess the dwarves are starting to go naked now. Because we have plenty of cloth, I guess we'll need to start doing some clothes making. But not just yet. Actually, I might make it here so the hunters can come over and get some bolts from a bolt stockpile. So it might as well be close to the entrance. Build a construction truck stop. Make 2 bolt stockpiles. There we go. Request a minecart. As soon as they finish that, I'll make a bolt stockpile and then start requesting bolts. And I'll put a second carpenter's workshop here because just one might be too busy with stuff. Oh, they're constantly moving corpses. Oh, let's go to the cemetery, see if we have enough. Oh yeah, they're not taken up yet, okay. Vacant, so yeah. Okay, we don't need to build anymore just yet. That's fine. And as you can see, like, there are all our caged corpses. So, at some point when we have a military, when I finally make all the weapons and whatnot, I'll make a little fighting arena for our dwarves to train on them. They dug this out, so let's build another carpenter's workshop. Carpenter's workshop, there we go. I can't pronounce. Yeah, what I'll make for now is make a quantum stockpile for all the clothes. So for now, I'll make it here. Because once we have the magma piping, I want this whole area to be magma forges. So I will have one tile of magma under, like right next to the quantum stockpile. So rather than stockpiling it, it'll just keep dumping the stuff in magma. But right now, I'll just make it a stockpile. So yeah, so the refuse, the clothes, don't just keep being in the way. I'll keep dumping it in a hole, basically. And I'll just dig it out a bit longer, so if there's miasma, it doesn't spread. So yeah, let's dig all the way up to here. And we don't have enough stuff for meals. But again, I set up the... Yeah, they shouldn't be making easy meals, because this is not satisfied for the next track. Like, we have more than 50 prepared meals. Yeah, they're making an easy meal. Whatever they want to do. Oh, this one just finished here. Oh, and they finally removed this grate. So let's construct the floor now. And then we can make more floor here. And floor here, so they can build the wall here. And then just put a few more grates in this, so the fishers have access. Yeah, so there we go, they started to make charcoal. Okay, let's see if anybody's planting anything. Yeah, see there's doors planting stuff. Plum helmets. So they're still channeling this out. When they finish channeling this, they'll do the other layer. Yeah, there we go. So that's all progressing nicely. Petitions available, another one. Eradicating monsters. We don't have access to the caverns, and we won't have for a while, so not until I make armored dwarves that can actually deal with a forgotten beast, so no, we don't need them. Actually, yeah, I'll make a whole floor here, because I think the wall needs to be orthogonal, as in a straight line, not diagonally from the floor. So I'll need to build the floor here and then the wall here. I guess that they kind of channel this out as well. There we go, and I could put another floor grate here. Yeah, so so the walls already make their own floor. So once we have a wall here, that's all. So we just need to put a floor over this bit here. So let's just do that right now. Let's designate it, and that will be the roof. And I'll just put a wall here as well, so they can block it off afterwards. Let's go and reinstate the hospital, because I kept forgetting about that. So, and the meeting area, courtesy of humility. I'll put the container back in. Like, I know there's issues, like I said, with the fey moods and whatnot, where dwarves can't do it, but I can just deal with it as it goes. I'll just drop the amount of thread and cloth necessary. They can just keep restocking if they want to, but they don't need to keep it all in the hospital. And they just can take it straight from here, because it's literally right here. Oh, and I wanted to make a door between the hospital and the food stockpile. And I wanted to make a channel, yeah, right bang in the middle of the hospital. I want to make a well. So I think I'll do, because all the fisher dwarfs keep have to dragging the fish down here, down all these stairs, then down and up the stairs. What I can just do is connect them straight here. Just give them their own private path. Here, there we go. And I'll just put some doors in just to make it a bit separated. A baron has imposed a ban. Okay, let's go to the nobles screen. Make short swords. Okay, they want to make short swords. Oh, this one is still prohibiting bucklers. Prohibiting export of bucklers. So I guess their little cartel broke apart. Because, yeah, beforehand, one wanted to make bucklers, the other wanted to export bucklers. So they wanted to swim in bucklers like Scrooge McDuck. I believe I've seen a picture of like that someone made, because that is like a running theme in Dwarf Fortress about nobles wanting bucklers. If I find that picture, I'll put it in the video. And they have requirements, so I might actually start making them rooms. I just want to finish this up before we do anything. Like, if we get invaded again, I don't want anything here happening, like something swimming up or whatnot. So this will be a completely isolated spot. Nothing can get in here. Our fisher doors will be completely safe. Oh, some migrants are arrived. Oh, that reminds me, because some migrants have arrived in between sessions as well. So let's see how many doors we have right now. 49. I believe we still have enough rooms. Okay, I'll give the migrants time to actually arrive in the fortress, because I believe they don't count until they reach the fort. I might need to start making more beds. And the caravan has left already, okay. Because I just realized I didn't check for animals. Yeah, here they have the blocks. And they're smelting the magnetite. Wait, they're smelting them. I just realized what I wanted to do, because we have access to marble. And marble is used as flux in making steel. We can literally start smelting steel. And I think you can start smelting steel straight from magnetite. So we can use either the iron bars to smelt steel with the flux and some wood. Or some charcoal, rather. Or we can smelt steel straight from the ore using charcoal and flux. So yeah, I'll start digging for marble. How far down do we want to go? There's plenty of marble here, it seems. So yeah, I'll request another minecart. Make sure that they're not bringing the marble to this stockpile. And I'll make another quantum stockpile for marble here. We can set up the mining for the marble, so they can go next to the track stop, because yeah, if I have the wheelbarrows, I won't bother doing another track or another hauling route for minecart for the marble, because it's closer, a bit closer than that. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's how I'll do it, because I just can't be bothered to make another whole track system for the marble. So I'll just dig down, downstairs, and then up downstairs here, and then just mine. And I won't mine all the way here, just to here, there we go. Now we can put under just order to make bolts. I guess make 100 if we have less than 50, let's say. There we go, but not any bolts. We want so maybe it wasn't material, it was item type, and maybe it was traits. Plant items, there we go. So I want plant bolts, which means that wooden bolts. So we'll start churning out some bolts so our hunters can actually go and hunt without having to bash something in with the butt of their crossbow. Okay, they dig out this. So later I'll have magma channels going underneath and channel this out so it goes straight into magma. But right now I'll make another track stop. Actually, I'll channel this right now because yeah, I want it to go into a hole. I'll make a stockpile in the hole once they dig it. Because yeah, otherwise they would just keep cycling them. And yeah, I don't want that. That would be ridiculous. And once the magma's there, I'll just remove the stockpile from that. Oh, can I put doors in? We don't have any doors. Let's construct some doors. Yeah, there we go. I think that's created. Yeah, so now we can make a refuse stockpile here and a refuse stockpile in the hole. Properly set them up because yeah, we don't want dwarf corpses thrown here, so forbid that. Like human and elf corpses and stuff like that, yeah, sure. Chuck them straight in. For now, I'll just leave it at this. And yeah, if I find anything in the stockpile downstairs before I flood it with magma that I want to be in a normal stockpile, then I'll just refine it. Okay, and make a hauling route. Well, there's something wrong with the magnetite route. I'll need to check in a second what's wrong. Why is it having an issue now? Oh, what happened here? Oh no! This is why you check why you do stuff. Okay, this is not the end of the world. Just how do we deal with this? Because I will need to block off the access for the water somehow so it dries up, and I can put a floor there. Why did I need to dig down one level lower? You know what? Because it's time I was finishing, I will figure out how to deal with this tiny issue. This absolutely insignificant problem. I will somehow deal with it, but that might be a bit of figuring it out, a bit of work, so I won't bore you just yet with it. Okay, so I'm just recording this clip to show a bit of the carnage that I've unfortunately wrought on the fortress. Because in case it wasn't clear from the stream, because I didn't really show it, what I have accidentally done, I have dug a downward stairway towards the layer below, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing here, that's fine. But I also dug then a up-down stair, not just an upstair, which would have ended on this layer and not dug the floor, but an up-down stair which also then dug another downward stairway into the empty space right in the water channel. So, because the water drops down from, what is it, like 7 levels above, the water pressure just immediately pushed the water up through the stairway because it's the shortest route for it to go, and all the way through the corridor, and, well, started flooding the fortress. With a bit of quick thinking, I managed to stop the worst of it, because I managed to block this entrance with some doors, because doors don't let water through, and basically just forbid the... Oh, I didn't even forbid this passage. But that's fine, because this doesn't need to be forbidden. It just needs to stop the water going down the stairs and flooding everything below it. So even if a dwarf opens the door, like a tiny bit of water escapes through, that's fine, it'll just evaporate, no worries. They just can't keep it open. But what I needed to do was dig a channel, which, quite fortunately, is on the same level here. This is the tunnel that has the minecart rails that was getting flooded, so I dug a straight channel to our fountain, so we have a proper drain, and then just built a wall straight across this bit here, so the water will just go straight down the drain and down the outlet, rather than flooding the rest of the fort. And there's nothing below here, so it can't flood anything lower than that. And then just locked these doors so that nobody keeps going through them. But even if, again, it's just a tiny bit of water, it would just evaporate because the rest of it will just go down the drain. So now what I will do is basically wait, because once winter comes, and it actually won't be long, so once the river freezes, we can build a bridge here, a drawbridge, that has the capacity to lock this whole bit, and hopefully that will deal with the issue once and for all, because yeah, just what I did here is ridiculous. Yeah, as you can see, winter is upon us, so yeah, now we just need to wait for the actual water to freeze, and we can start building, so wish me luck. Yeah, this is just my luck. It has been, I believe, 30 seconds since I showed the previous clip of Winter is Upon Us. And we get the lovely message: the enemy has come and is laying siege to your fortress. We are getting besieged again. Just the one lucky thing now is, because it is winter, so obviously they will be able to walk over the frozen river, but I have finished the walls here, and the grates, and the floors, and even the roof, so our fishing spot is completely safe, and I'll just put the wall in, so even if they manage to swim about, they won't be able to come through. But yeah, that's just our luck, isn't it? Okay, but time to wait for the water to freeze regardless, and to lock everybody back into the fort. Okay, so more fun is happening. Our dwarf expedition leader is now enraged at all enemies and is just attacking other dwarfs. So all the animals and some other dwarfs are now terrorized, experiencing mortal fear, and some other dwarfs are throwing a tantrum. So it seems we got some kind of beast that induces terror. Let's look at the unit screen and others. Is there anything specific? Troglodyte, those are just... yeah, that's just a wild animal. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening to do this. Like, did they just snap after being stressed? Let's see. Let's view their thoughts and preferences and whatnot. He is lost in rage, doesn't feel anything while in conflict. Vengeful, dejected. His body is bruised, his arm is bruised, so people are fighting back. But I'm not sure what happened to make him fly into such rage. Oh, so one thing I believe we need to do, so he was unable to pray for too long. So a lot of the dwarfs are getting angry because they can't pray, so I need to build some kind of temple. Yeah, I'm not sure how temples work, so I will need to look that up, but yeah, he is getting beaten up. Yeah, he's just beating up the bard, and I think someone's trying to restrain him. Yeah, puppies are overcome by terror. Stray turkeys are overcome by terror. These dwarfs are fighting. Oh, and yeah, everywhere is blood. Dwarf blood, dog blood. Oh, some dwarf died, dog died. Yeah, something really bad happened, and just everybody's going crazy, so I'll just see what happens and keep recording. Enraged at all enemies, Monster Slayer. So we have several dwarfs. Something is affecting them. I will need to look what's actually happening. Yeah, so all our dwarfs have officially went berserk and are murdering each other. And I literally can't do anything but just watch, because there's nothing I can do. Once they stop murdering each other, then we can get back to the game, I guess, but until then, like, as soon as they start killing each other, other dwarfs will get bad moods, and they will start getting depressed, and they will start enter rage. Like, I believe even a dwarven child, there was a dwarven child in berserk rage, and raged at all enemies. Yeah, Fisher Dwarf has been found that everybody's fighting, everybody's dead. Just because I recalled them to the barrow one too many times, I guess. Close the gates. But the point is, like, we're not even under siege. Yeah, we got the notification that, oh, we're being attacked, but I didn't see any enemies. So unless there's some kind of monster that puts everyone into berserk rage, then I don't know what's happening. The visiting monster slayers are the ones killing everyone. But yeah, that's big. Like, the fort was open, they could have left whenever they wanted. Okay, let's see how many dwarfs are left. 26 dwarfs. We had, what, over 50. And of course all the nobles are alive, because, yeah. Oh, that's our legendary miner, and they're fine. He didn't die. The ironic thing is, the water is frozen, I just started designating stuff. I designated a bridge to be built. Everything was going to be nice and fine. I was going to start fixing everything. And then I just go to pull a lever and I see this. There is no monster. It is the dwarves themselves that flew into berserk rage and they started murdering each other. The drawbridge here to close off the water supply, that probably won't get done now because everybody's depressed and trying to get rid of bodies, and the AI always goes hyper stupid. Like, this is probably one of the worst designed pieces of the game, where as soon as there's pieces of clothing or weapons or any tools, just anything just strewn about because dwarves start dying, all the other dwarves just drop everything. They stopped doing farming, they stopped doing construction, they stopped doing any work. They just start hauling the equipment. And at that point, that was the problem after I opened the fort when we killed the zombies. No one was doing any work whatsoever. And everybody was just hauling equipment, including the miners, who I needed to start mining. And I'm pretty sure because I even disabled all hauling and anything like that from miners, and they still were just going off. Like, it was somehow overriding their AI. I'm not sure exactly what was happening. So I'm pretty sure that the water will thaw and the fort will flood again, and we'll have to wait another year. Okay, so I played for a few minutes, just trying to see if everything comes down, just trying to take stock, and intruders! Drive them away. Well, who's the intruder? It's a necromancer! We have 20 dead dwarves laying on the floor inside the fortress. And a necromancer just arrives out of the blue. Let's see how it plays out. Dwarf poet necromancer, dwarf warsmith necromancer, baron consort of necromancer. Oh, and they have a groundhog skeleton with them. Ah, fine, whatever. I'll lock the gate again. Yeah, we'll see how soon they will raise the dead. So I absolutely expect everybody to go crazy because of the miasma as well. They then will not perform any work. So they're all either in the hospital or going crazy. It's just one dwarf socializing in the middle of the miasma. Let's see the necromancers. Oh wow. I think the necromancers just noticed what was happening in our fort and left.
Oh my god.
There's an uninvited guest. Oh, that's the Forgotten Beast. Never mind. Let's see where she is. Yeah, the Forgotten Beast is just traveling around the caverns. But we blocked off the caverns. But yeah, I think the necromancers couldn't even bother seeing what's happening here. So we might as well open the fort back up. Well, it's not even closed. Nobody even pulled the lever. I mean, obviously there was carnage, but if we go to Dwarf Therapist, if you look at their happiness, this one's happy, content, fine. These are a bit unhappy, the rest are fine. They're not even that bothered about the carnage that just took place. But, yeah, they're just not working. Some are resting, either drinking, sleeping, socializing, or one is storing item in stockpile, and the children are playing make-believe. Like, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, but because nobody is literally doing anything, like even these corpses, I enabled the refuse pile to take even dwarven corpses, so they could be putting the corpses there in the meantime before we manage to dig the graves. Oh yeah, by the way, another dwarf with a strange mood, but this one's not even occupying a workshop, so I guess they're going to soon go melancholic and die. And we have all of these bloody bards just eating us out of the house. Can I eject them? I don't want them to be here. Yeah, for the moment, I will delete the tavern. Okay, I can give you a little update. Something went so wrong. I was literally looking at the bridge, whether it's being built. Suddenly, the game just froze for a moment, and then suddenly all the water was unfrozen, immediately. And all the grates are misplaced. I'm not even sure what happened. Like, why are these grates here? Like, I'm gobsmacked. I have no idea what the hell is happening anymore. I mean, the walls and the floors are fine, so at least that's one good thing. The grates disassembled themselves. The water is now flowing, so we didn't even manage to build that one bloody bridge in time. Oh hey, I have played for a bit longer, and the dwarf with a strange mood that wasn't occupying any workshops? Well, they have gone berserk. Every single other time that any dwarf like, what was it, 5 times? Or 4 times that went unfulfilled, and the one time we managed to fulfill our miner's request. So yeah, so 4 times they just went into melancholy and then they just died of dehydration or starvation, I'm not sure which one. And now that our fort is already at the brink of collapse, now is the time for a strange mood to end up with the dwarf going berserk. So let's just watch. Oh, okay, that was fast. Blink it and you miss it. The glassmaker has been struck down. I guess they were already half dead. As a parting gift for this episode, I just want to show you one more thing. While trying to assess our farming situation, I have found this. Typing in plump helmets, which we got some seeds for, we see that we have a whole range of lovely plump helmet biscuits, and not a single plump helmet spawn. And this is despite that this stockpile, which is the one that can store plump helmets, which if I go to the plant barrel, as you can see, it has a plump helmet, does not give to the no plant kitchen, but it does give to the plant kitchen. And if we go to the manager, just as a reminder, because I mean, maybe there was some confusion, but no, the no plant kitchen does not have any restrictions. Well, because it doesn't get any plump helmets because it's not connected to the actual stockpile. While the plant kitchen, that is connected to the stockpile that has plump helmets, has restrictions on plump helmets and plump helmet spawns. And yet somehow it managed to turn all of those plump helmets into biscuits, despite the fact that we have now no spawns. What I have done now is just basically go to the kitchen screen and just disabled cooking of plump helmets altogether. So hopefully from now on I will be just able to get some growing on, and we will not have to worry about just them getting cooked, they will just get brewed. But, well, we still have, what, 22 dwarfs. So, well, it's more than our starting population to begin with when we started building the fort. So, well, the fort will go on, we will manage to rebuild. So with that, I wish you a good day, bid you a farewell, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.